Good afternoon. Welcome to the April the 15th Glendale Housing Authority meeting being called to order at 3:05 p.m. May I please have the roll call, Mr. City Clerk?
Certainly. Authority members Friedman, Mincy,
Here.
Najarian,
Here.
Quintero, here. Weaver,
Here.
Snanian,
Here.
Vice Chair Parazian.
Here. May I please have your report?
The agenda for the April 15th, 2014 regular meeting of the Glendale Housing Authority was posted on Friday, April 11th, 2014 on the bulletin board outside City Hall.
What is next, please?
Next item would be approval of minutes. There are no minutes for approval for this meeting. The item following that is oral communications. There are no cards that were submitted for that portion either. Next item on the business agenda is 6A, public hearing, Director of Community Development regarding Section 8 Public Housing Agency Annual Plan for Fiscal Year 2014-15. 6A1 is a resolution adopting the plan and authorizing submission to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, and may it please the Authority Board. We have for you just this very brief staff report. Every year we're required as the Public Housing Authority to complete and file with HUD an annual plan. Because we have been designated again as a high-performing agency, we get the benefit of the streamlined process. And so the very short report that you have in your binder and the exhibits that accompany are really all that is before you. If you have any specific questions about the plan or anything that's contained therein, our administrative analyst, Veronica Lunn, is here in the audience if you'd like to ask her any questions.
Okay. And with that, I've opened the public hearing.
Questions?
Are there any questions?
Good afternoon, Housing Authority Vice Chair Parazian, Housing Authority members and staff. My name is Veronica Lunn, Administrative Analyst with the Community Development Department and Housing. Like Mr. Ochoa said, every year the Department of Housing and Urban Development requires that all public housing agencies submit a Section 8 Public Housing Agency Annual Plan. And this plan provides interested parties information on where to locate the agency's policies concerning the operations of the PHA. The plan also reports to HUD any policy changes the PHA is implementing for the next fiscal year. Since our agency has been rated a high-performing agency by HUD, we are eligible to submit a streamlined plan. On February 6th and February 20th of this year, staff met with a newly elected resident advisory board to go over the plan and receive comments. Those comments are included in the minutes and were submitted as part of the staff report. Therefore, staff is recommending that the Housing Authority adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of the Section 8 Public Housing Agency Annual Plan for fiscal year 2014-2015 to the Department of to the Department of Housing and Urban Development. This concludes my presentation. I can answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Are there any questions from the staff? Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Does this report have a portion which lays out for the HUD the needs that the City of Glendale has in terms of Section 8 housing?
Here, this is our annual plan. That's usually done at our February annual plan, which was submitted last year.
Okay. And when will that plan that was submitted last year be resubmitted in whatever format next
Our
year?
next 5-year annual plan is due 2019.
So between now and 4 years from now, we're not going to submit any plan to the HUD stating as to what our up-to-date needs are with respect to Section 8?
Well, every year we submit an annual plan that addresses those any policies or any changes that have been administered in our admin policy. So,
but the annual plan you're saying doesn't contain specifically a section on
as far as budget?
Yeah, as far as we have 3,000 people on the waiting list waiting to receive assistance from the HUD.
You know what? I think maybe Peter Zovak might be better to answer that question.
Mr. Chair, members of the authority, while the annual plan may not mention that, HUD is well aware of the demand that through other correspondence and documentation that we submit to them on an informal basis as to what the demand is and how long our waiting list has been in place and the status of it.
Okay, so there is no formal document that lays out saying, a simple fact, like we have 3,000 or whatever the number is currently, 3,000 people waitlisted on Section 8 housing waitlist, and we need more funding. There's no formal document like that?
There's no formal question that HUD asks the agency. We can certainly amend the PHA plan per your request, if it be it, and submit something, a statement like that. But it's certainly not something that they ask and then weigh on any future vouchers in any way through this particular document. It's not.
I think that's something worthwhile. I think that's, and even if the answer is that these annual reports are not meant to communicate that kind of information, right. I think if for no other reason but to get it on the record formally that we are in bad need of additional HUD funding is a good thing. I think we should do it. I think we should amend this or whatever other report that is appropriate to be submitted to the HUD to make sure that that's on the record, so that when we go back to them, if we say, hey, refer to this document we've submitted to you, and therefore we're here asking you for this or that. It doesn't even have to be the HUD. If we're going to any federal authority asking for additional help with additional funding, we can say that we have formally informed the HUD of our additional needs. So I hope that I can get some support on that issue. It's just a simple, informative. Again, it doesn't have to be a dissertation, just a section or a paragraph indicating.
We can make that a constant reminder in all communications that we have.
That would be great. That would be even better.
Whether they accept it or not, we'll just make it a part of documentation that we send up to them.
Sure.
Are there any more questions? I have a question. When I did read the RAB members' comments, I noticed that there are a lot of RAB members, more members. Am I mistaken or not? The number is getting bigger.
Yes, you're correct.
Yeah.
Last year we had about 24 members.
Okay.
Like I said, this year we had a total of
6 or something.
66 new members.
Yeah. And they are all the Section 8 tenants, right?
They're all Section 8 tenants. It's a very enthusiastic board, and they asked a lot of questions, and they wanted to know how the program gets their funding. So they asked a lot of good questions that were included in the minutes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So I close the public hearing. What is?
I'll move 6A1.
Okay,
Second.
thank you. Roll call, please.
Thank you. Authority members, Friedman, Mincy.
Yes, but isn't this supposed to be council vote?
No.
Oh, it isn't. I'm sorry. Yes.
Najarian,
Yes.
Quintero,
Yes.
Weaver,
Aye.
Tersananian,
Yes.
Vice Chair Farazi.
Yes.
Thank you.
What is next?
Authority member or staff comments.
I see none. So
Move
What
we
is next?
adjourn. Second.
Thank you.
thank you.